Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working with geometry. We're starting a brand new unit. This unit is number 9 and we're going to be talking this entire unit about geometry. Today we're going to be learning a lot of vocabulary having to do with geometry, and tomorrow we're going to ask you to work with that vocabulary in class. So go ahead and get out your books, and I want you to turn to the notes section. Now you do not have to write this down, but on the next one you'll be starting to write. So just go ahead and open to the notes section and just pay attention as I talk to you a little bit. Okay, geometry is actually the part of math that deals with points, lines, shapes, and space. In this section, you're going to be learning about how to identify lines, line segments, rays, and points. You're also going to be able to identify lines that happen to be parallel or perpendicular, or lines that are just intersecting lines. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now you don't have to write any of this down, but go ahead and get out your vocabulary section of your book and get ready, because we have a lot to write. Okay, let's go ahead and pause the video. What I'd like you to do is just write down parallel, just this blue section here. Stop when you get to this green section. Go ahead and pause your video now and do that. Okay, now that you've got this top section written down, we're going to talk about the word parallel. The word is parallel, okay? Parallel means two lines that never, ever cross or intersect. They always go in the same direction, and they stay the same distance apart. If you look at these two lines, if these two lines continue to go this way, or if these two lines continue to go this way, you would notice that these two lines are never, ever, ever going to cross or intersect. That's the definition of parallel. Two lines that will never cross and stay the same distance apart. Okay. Let's go ahead and pause the video now and write down the green section. Okay. Now that you have this section written down where it says perpendicular, we're going to go over the definition together. Perpendicular are when you have two lines that cross or intersect, and where they cross, they form a 90-degree angle. So it must be this way. Okay, you're never, ever, ever going to have two lines that cross like this that are perpendicular. These two lines are simply intersecting lines. They are only perpendicular when they cross with a 90-degree angle. So this, absolutely not. No. This is perpendicular. Okay, you can almost think of it as a cross or a T, because this angle right here is 90 degrees. This angle right here is 90 degrees, as are the other angles. Okay, so perpendicular is important to remember that when they cross, they have to have 90 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead and come down here. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about a line. Now, I know you know what a line is, but in math, a line is just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is have you pause the video and go ahead and copy down that. Okay, now, when you come back, we'll go ahead, and now that we're back, we're going to talk about what line is. In math, a line goes on and on forever in both directions. It has no beginning and no end. We use arrows to show this. So if you take a look at this line right here, you're going to notice there's blue arrows, one over at this end and one over at this end. In math, that's how we show we're talking about a line. That means that this will continue on this way forever and ever, and it will also continue on that way forever and ever. Okay? We use, this is line AB. We label it like this. It's an A and a B with a line over it and two arrows, one on each side of it. Okay? That is how we label a line in geometry. Now we're going to go ahead and learn a few more definitions. Your next definition is a line segment. Go ahead and write down this, pause the video. Okay, as you come back to the video, a line segment is simply a part of a line. Now, we just got done talking about how a line will go on and on forever, and it has the arrows at the end. So this is line AB. Okay? It's a part of the line that can actually be drawn and measured. So if I were talking about just the little piece right here between the A and the B, okay, that is a line segment. That's the part of the line that we can actually measure. When we're talking about line AB, we label it like this, AB. You'll notice that there are no arrows. That tells me that we're not talking about the whole line. We're only talking about this, a piece of it, a part of it that can be measured. Okay, it's really important that you remember no arrows on that. Go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to write down ray, the definition of a ray. Okay, when you come back to the video, a ray is very similar to a line, but it goes on forever, but only in one direction. So it does have a starting point, but then it continues on in one direction forever and ever, and there is no end. So let's take a look at what a ray looks like. You can see it has a starting point of A, but you can see that the way it's labeled, it has one arrow. That one arrow tells me that A is the starting point, and then it goes on and on forever. We label it like this. We label it with an AB, because those are the points that are on the line, AB, and then we put an arrow with only one little arrow on that end. This end we do not put an arrow on because there is a starting point in an array. Okay, let's go ahead and write down the last one, a point. Okay, a point is an exact location on the line. As you can see, I've got a line drawn here, and I have 4 points on this line. We have point A, point B, point C, and point D. Now, in geometry, when we're talking about a point, and I tell you I want you to go to point B and start there, you'll need to know exactly what I'm talking about. There are 4 points located on this line. There can be many, many points. There can just be a few points. Some lines don't have any points, but you need to know when I'm talking about a point, exactly what a point is. Okay. Now it's going to be time to practice a little bit. So go ahead and flip back over to your practice section. Okay. Using the definitions that I gave you, and if you need to go back and review that video, now would be the time to go back and review. You're going to complete this sheet that you got in class today. I gave you this sheet. I want you to put it right in your practice section. You're going to have to tell me which ones of these lines are parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, meaning they just cross but not at a special angle, or if they're not parallel at all, they're just 2 lines. Okay, write that right below the shape, directly below. Then on the bottom 3, you're going to tell me I'm going to ask you to write the point, line segment, line, or ray next to these. Now, if you're careful, look at the arrows. The arrows are going to be very, very important. So go ahead and complete those 3, and then write down any questions that you have about any of these vocabulary words. Have a great night.